severe weather today, especially in the Mid-Atlantic, where we do have a brand new severe thunderstorm watch in play.
It includes Washington, D.C., as well as the Baltimore metro area. Philadelphia, you're kind of on the cusp of this, so you need to stay weather alert as well. Raleigh, no worry about the storms, but man, the heat.
Yeah, and then later this weekend, the Midwest, it'll be your turn again. Let's go into the lab now. Storm specialist Carl Parker standing by. And Carl, these storms could really get going in just about an hour's time.
Yeah, that's right. And there's already now a warning in northwestern Maryland. And there's this new severe thunderstorm watch area that you mentioned from the Storm Prediction Center, looking at the possibility of 70-mile-per-hour wind along with 1.5-inch hail. Now, golf ball is 1.75 inches, so 1.5 is significant. That's way up there. And you're looking at some stronger storms that have fired up already here across parts of the region. There is now a severe thunderstorm warning for Frederick County. That's right over Frederick now along 270. And along 70 as well, and looking at some small hail with this one, and also 60-mile-per-hour wind. And cells are just beginning to pop up now in other parts of the larger metro. You've got certainly a cell that is getting going there right around New Carrollton and along 50 there, moving out towards Annapolis. No warning on that as of yet, but that's something that we'll need to watch very closely. And then you've got a line segment that has developed in York and Lancaster counties. No warnings here also, but there too could be some stronger storms developing. And then a mass of rain coming towards the tri-state area, so it's going to be a pretty rainy afternoon. That's certainly going to add to the commute there in New York City and surrounding areas. And then finally a warning up into Oneida County up in the upstate part of New York, and looking at a possibility of some damaging wind and hail. That's generally coming towards Rome in New York as that moves just a little to the south of east. So you've got a jet stream disturbance that is coming across the northeast right there. We're seeing some stronger mid-level winds that are associated with that. This is looking at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Enough instability certainly to support stronger storms. And then also there is this boundary that is going to be in place, and along that boundary you take a look at the surface vectors. The winds are going to be coming out of the southeast there in some areas. I'm going to redraw that up into southeast Pennsylvania and also in Delaware, southern Jersey. And low-level winds, though they're not real strong, will be coming out of the southwest or west-southwest, nearly orthogonal there. And so that means that there's going to be some additional spin in the atmosphere and potential for some of these storms to rotate. We may see some tornado warnings as well in those areas in particular. So looking at the model forecast, more development across a lot of the same spots that we just talked about. The Philly corridor there and down into Baltimore and D.C. into central Virginia. More of that into late afternoon. Very tough evening commutes for that reason. And then some additional storms even into late tonight around the Mason-Dixon line and southward, and even overnight tonight in some spots. So you've generally got a threat for wind and hail in these areas in red, but a little bit more of a tornado threat centered on parts of the Mid-Atlantic region. Mark, over to you.
Thank you, Carl. And we want to continue to fine-tune some of that timing for you. If you're in the Mid-Atlantic, I know you're very interested in this, specifically because it's coming in at that last commute time of the week, or maybe you're trying to leave town a little bit early, start off a summertime weekend. As early as basically from now to the next hour or so, storms are going to move in, getting ever closer to that I-95 corridor. The later it gets in our kind of late afternoon hours, 3, 4, 5 o'clock here, the better your chances that we will have storms right through the district, up through Baltimore. These storms have that potential for severe weather, right? We're talking gusty winds, we're talking maybe some hail, and as Carl just mentioned, that chance for some rotation, especially a little bit further north where we have those different wind directions with height. The storms continue to roll on through. Cold front doesn't really cross until overnight. We will lose a lot of the dynamics. We'll lose a lot of that severe weather potential, but just wanted to let you know there could still be some lingering rain or a rumble of thunder or two even into the overnight hours. Now, further north, say New York City, you've been in that onshore flow all day. Cooler, a little bit more stable. Look for some rain on and off that could slow down the afternoon commuting. Certainly we'll do a number on the airports, but we should be able to avoid most of the severe weather, and then it gets better for the weekend. And speaking of the weekend, we've been talking about the Midwest all week. Well, this weekend, your turn comes back in again. Minneapolis, late day storms tomorrow. Jackie.
Well, we'll take you to a trip to the south now. Take a look at this video. This is really incredible. That's the wall of a house right there collapsing into a sinkhole. This is Pasco County, Florida. It's just outside of Tampa Bay, and 2 homes eventually were destroyed as the earth just opened up and swallowed this whole area. 11 different homes nearby have been evacuated as this is an active and growing sinkhole. No one was injured in this, though, so a little bit of good news. Scary story, a scary video coming in out of Pasco County, Florida. Well, Florida is getting hit with showers and thunderstorms at this time, but most of the action is right here into the Florida Panhandle. Look at the satellite imagery and how this just explodes here. A lot of the worst of the weather has been offshore, but now we've been tracking this little area of thunderstorms that's been producing some pretty good wind gusts with it. No warnings in effect any longer, but as this moves in along the I-10 corridor, just be aware that you're going to see a lot of lightning. You're going to get some heavy downpours, and the wind gusts could exceed 40 miles per hour, so not necessarily something you really want to drive through. As the temperatures continue to heat up this afternoon, we're going to see more widespread showers and thunderstorms. We've got this feed of tropical moisture that's pushing in across the southeast. This is moving in from the Caribbean across Florida through the Gulf and then heading up towards the Mississippi River Valley, and this is all kind of getting gathered up along a stationary boundary, which will then be the focus point of where the showers and thunderstorms will be. So everybody south of there is going to be warm and humid with showers and thunderstorms, not just today, but really lasting off and on throughout much of the weekend. Rainfall amounts could get pretty hefty in some of these isolated thunderstorms, picking up maybe 1 to 2 inches. Mark?
Now, despite the rain and the storms, one thing still refusing to yield in the Mid-Atlantic, and that is the heat. It is a scorching day in portions of the Mid-Atlantic, but relief is in sight. We'll show you what changes as we head towards the weekend.